Hey everyone, it's Steve from the garden. Well, I have a relatively warm day, which warm is like 40 degrees, which is unusual for this time of year. But I want to take advantage of that relative warmth and do some work on the compost piles. I have this bin, which the pallet fell over. So I want to rectify that by basically flipping it into the other spot here. And I'll mix in some horse manure along the way. I have the finished compost pile, which has a lot of worms in it. In this pile, I want to top off the bin with fresh horse manure to provide more warmth to the worms so they can get through the rest of the winter. And I have my Johnson Sioux compost pile, which I also want to top this off with a combination of horse manure and leaves. Now, I had been intending to top this one off for a little while, but after I built it, it got cold and I didn't feel like being out here. But again, with the relative warmth we have, I'm going to take advantage of that and get this bin topped off finally. Before I work on the worm bin, I'm going to take a couple of forkfuls from the top where the worms tend to hang out, move that into a tote so I can bring it into the house. There we go. I scooped out a couple of forkfuls and we got some fresh worms to do something with inside, and I'm sure these guys will be much happier on the indoors. With some worms taken out of that pile, I'm just going to go ahead and just dump out some of the horse manure right on top. Spread that around, bring in some heat. I got enough material removed from the one bin that I was able to put the pallet upright again, but I was finding worms over on the left side in the center area where it was the warmest, so what I decided to do was just pile on some more horse manure so that it would generate some heat, keep the worms going through the winter time. I transport the horse manure using 27 and 17 gallon totes. That way I can just fill the totes, bring them home, and then just move them over to the compost piles where I can use them. Alright, that just leaves the Johnson Sioux bin. So first thing I'm going to do is put another layer of horse manure on there. There's leaves on the top. There's plenty of carbon in the top layer. And then I'll start layering it in after that. Here's the Johnson Sioux finished off. I got the worm bin covered back up with the thick layer of horse manure on there. The partially done compost with fresh horse manure. And the bin where I was flipping it into with a mixture of horse manure and the old material. In a couple of days, the warm spell is going to be over. We're going to be back to our normal freezing temperatures. So that'll be the end of my composting until springtime rolls around and it warms up again. So until then, I hope you enjoyed. Hope you got something out of this, and we'll see you on the next one.